Alright, so I am back doing another stream, and I'm recording this, of course, so it'll be available for watch on my Facebook page, and I upload it to YouTube also, which, if you were seeing this, you obviously saw it in one of those places. I was going to listen to some music. The new Power Man 5000 album dropped today, but I was playing it, and beyond copyright issues, it just kind of sounded garbled in the background and was annoying. So, not gonna play it. But this is a new album right here, Power Man 5000, The Noble Rot. It's pretty good. It's got some good songs on it. It's only 8 tracks, but it's only like $9, so about $1 a track plus tax, basically. That's how I think of it. I'm gonna run through the track list real quick. So we've got Cannibal Killers That Kill Everyone. First one's pretty good. Brave New World's pretty good. Play God or Play Dead, that didn't stand out. Black Lipstick's the single that they released before the album dropped, and that one's really good. I like that. That has a weird music video, though, if you go out and check that out. Let the Insects Rule is pretty good. Moving Blood is pretty good. Strange People Doing Strange Things sounded pretty good. We Got the Beat, good. That's a good cover. I love when bands like this do covers of songs. And then VHS, that one was pretty good. So, pretty good, decent 8 tracks. Big fan of Power Man 5000. I think they're one of my top 2 or 3 bands I listen to. I've started just getting their albums every single time they come out. And I've seen them live. They're a really fun show. Anyway, not going to listen to that, but go check that out if you want. Pretty good stuff. Today's episode is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and cream soda, which honestly I haven't bought Dr. Pepper anymore. We just get the Dr. Pepper and cream soda here. I really like it. And it just is light a little bit. Feel kind of shadowy. It's hard with the window over here, but I can't really turn everything around because my printer's there, obviously, and I can't move everything to this side. I don't think. No, this wall here is a little bit shorter, so the table would stick out, and I'd be worried about something bumping it. But I've got print running right now. I'm doing a Magneto helmet. I did a handmade one using Pepakura, but I never finished it. I got to the fiberglassing and resining state of it, and it was a lot of work, and I got tired of it, and it was getting expensive to work on. Not too expensive, but at the time it was just, should I really be spending money on this? And so that kind of, I think it's out in the garage, actually. I think it made the move with me. Maybe one day I will do something with it. It's kind of a running joke with one of my old customizing buddies about, hey, when are you going to finish that helmet? So now I am going to finish this helmet. 3D printing now. I've got this cool burgundy filament running on it. Obviously, I'm going to, do filler primer and sand and everything, but it's pretty cool that if it got scuffed, it would still look like close to the right color. So if you're wearing it to a convention or whatever and you drop it, it's not going to ruin everything that, oh no, I dropped my helmet. No, it's still kind of the right color. Pretty cool. So let's get into what I'm doing today, obviously. So I've started, since I got the new big printer, I've started making these Tron Identity Discs. I have them up in my Etsy shop if you're interested. It's not my model. I got it on Thingiverse, but the guy has it as a Creative Commons, like just free to print thing. He doesn't have it as like no selling. I forget what that's called, but anyway. So this is the disc I'm making. Let me turn off this light so you can see it lit up. So what I do, obviously, is, put lights into it. So that's it lit up. That's pretty freaking cool. And kind of cool how the light comes out of the side. This is not closed up right now. Oops, I lost the button. Just because I wanted to take it apart and show off the electronics. So let me plug the light back in. That light might not entirely... Oh, one second. I just realized I don't have the overhead light on, so that's why it's kind of dark right here. Give me one second. I'll fix that. That's better. There we go, much better. I do have like a lamp right here that's kind of just my light up Brian light. But yeah. So I didn't introduce myself. I mean, it says it right there. Variable Penguin Designs. Put my hand on top of it. Anyway, yeah, so Variable Penguin Designs, I make stuff. I used to make action figures, now I make mainly cosplay stuff, I guess. Anyway, so the Tron Identity Disc. So I made some modifications to this guy's model. He didn't have it. He had these. Here, I'll take it apart and I'll show you from this side. So he has these channels built in for running your wires or running your switch or whatever. And so what I did was I flip that over. I put in an extender to this toggle switch, not toggle, push button switch. That's the right word. It's this push button set, so it's got a little rod that connects to it, and then this is beveled to the same radius, diameter, circumference, perimeter, whatever, to the same angle of the circle, and it's got the same angle on the outside, so it's not completely flush, obviously, because it's going to have a gap, because it has to move, so, but, yeah, so that's that switch there. Runs the switch. It's got a little 3D printed brake so that it doesn't have to be like really long, since I don't want it to be super long. And then that's glued in, and it's got a little gap in it so that the light can still come through and light up the other side. I've got it powered by a 9-volt rechargeable battery, which are really freaking cool. I didn't realize you could get USB rechargeable. So it's got a micro USB recharging port. This is basically my prototype of this design. The guy actually designed it to be 9-volt powered, but I don't know that he designed it to be rechargeable. So I used this other hole, which I assume he had left to put in a switch if you decided to do it either angle, or just from flipping it you didn't have to mirror the image. But instead of another switch, because that would be weird, I guess if you were like going to do color changing lights and you didn't have it on like a Arduino or something, or whatever, some other electronic thing that I'm not really that well versed into yet. But anyway, so what I did is I bought a micro USB extender cable, so it's micro USB female and male and female. That's kind of gross. I always thought that was gross. And just kind of savaged it and took it apart, cut it down to just the bare minimum length of the wire, and soldered it back together. Got rid of like the data lines, because it obviously doesn't need data, it just needed power and ground. But now I can plug in a micro USB cord here and charge up this battery, which is kind of cool. It also lights up when it's charging. Oh, I have another one over here. This is a different brand, but so the light's too bright. So it lights up when it's done. Where's the camera? So it's got, see, you can see the blue light. This one in here lights up with a red light when it's charging. Red light's charging, green light's done. So, which will actually show through the indicator on the side here. It's kind of cool. Let me just show that. I can do that. Anyway, put that in. Oh, I forgot. This cable's not the best because it's too fat. The edge is a little bit fat, so you kind of need to get a narrower. Both of them are. I think the one I use is, I have it plugged into the wall over. Let's see if I can show you. I have a pair of little bits of pegboard that I have some 3D printed guns and props, and it lives up here. I leave it lit on and plugged in because it'll run through the battery, but off the micro USB basically. I might just leave this light off. It's not too dark here. So yeah, so the battery plugs in. I've got it wired, and then just basic these LED strip lights. I use white ones because they are very bright, and you kind of can't find single color LED strip lights other than bright white and warm white, and then everything else is RGB. I didn't want RGB. I didn't want to deal with having a switch that changes the colors because I just wanted the one color. Obviously, in Tron, you have in Legacy, you have Clue's guys. Clue is orange, and his guys, the converted programs are red, but his minion people are also orange. I forget the weird British guy who looks like evil Mr. Bean. I forget his name. But I made these little inserts out of just one layer thin prints of the same ring here, and then an external ring that goes around the outside, and so that lights it up and makes it orange. And you can see that on my Etsy shop. It's just Variable Penguin Designs. Search for that on Etsy, or just search for Tron Legacy Identity Disc, and it'll be the one that looks like this. There's another one, someone else has it listed. I'm not going to talk bad about them, but theirs is not great looking. And then there's some on there that are like, wow, that is a movie prop. That's much higher quality than what I can personally do in the amount of time I want to sell it. And obviously the price reflects that. Mine is slightly more expensive than the guy's, who doesn't look as great. His button is sticking out. You can physically see a button that's out half an inch here, and then that hole is uncovered, and it's like, come on, buddy, get some stuff. You have a 3D printer, obviously. 3D printed this. Just do some basic modeling. So I have a little plug that covers that up. Does it pretty well. It's also, kind of flush to it. I'll probably stick a magnet on that in most models, but that is that. And then I'm going to screw it back together. This is a cool little trick. If you need an Allen drill bit and you have a bunch of Allen wrenches, just break an Allen wrench and now you have a straight bit. But yeah, I'll just screw this back together. And I'm just holding it together with some M3 screws. I don't know the length, probably 3/4 inch or something. And then I have 3/4 inch on this side that actually holds it together. Screw that in. A 3/4 inch that screws that together on this side, and then also on the other side I just put in some 1/4 inch ones. I had been using some round cap ones, but this looks much better. It's black, it blends in with it. I think in the actual prop this part lights up, but I couldn't think of a way to get this to stay together really securely. I could have done neodymium magnets. I do that pretty much for everything. But I feel like it would have fallen off, and then you would have been stuck with, half of a Tron Identity Disc or the wiring falling out or something. This is very secure. It's not going to fall apart. It's held together at 4 points in the middle. Yeah, I could probably throw this. It would probably break, but anyway. Also, another feature I have on here is this filament on the inner rings, and then 1 or 2 layers on this outer blade is glow in the dark. So after you turn this off, it still kind of glows a little bit, which is pretty neat. It's only a blue glow in the dark. I found some orange, but I think it works better with blue right now, just because I don't have to worry about, because when you get the filament, it's all white, so you can't tell. And then here, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to do. So it's 1 or 2 layers of the glow in the dark on the top, and then I had done 1 or 2 that I just did glow in the dark all the way through, but the light didn't show through it very well because obviously it's not translucent, it's opaque. And with the thickness of this, basically any infill you do, It's pretty much 100% infill. It's, I think I did it at 20, but it printed everywhere. There's very little gap. So what I did was I got some translucent filament. So it's like 95% translucent, and then that little 5% of it is the glow in the dark. So it still goes in the dark, and then the light still shines through, which I'll show you put together again. Now the switches. It's kind of sticky on this version because I had some issues with super glue. This is my personal one, so it's not a big deal that it's sticky. Any ones I sell, I slightly modeled down the switch a little bit so it moves a little better. But concerned it. Wait. You have to like flick it like a bic, like a bic. That's for soldering. Dang it. I might have tightened it down too much. Anyway, I already turned it on, so I'm going to just put that over here on this drill, and you can kind of see it in the background. That'll be fun. Woo! Okay, so like I said, I did kind of like a ramshackle way where I, I cut up a micro SD extender. The reason I did that were it came in a 2-pack, and I needed one for that Bob the Skull. If you've looked at my Facebook or my Instagram, you would have seen the Bob from Dresden Files. It's got the light up eyes. I needed the extender so that I could extend the micro USB off of that and then plug in a regular cord, so that I have a way of accessing the power board inside the skull without, running a long cord all the way in there. I wanted something that's short and disconnectable. So that's the reason I got that. And then also because I wasn't sure if this was going to work. So as a replacement for that, obviously I don't want to buy a bunch of micro USB cable extenders and chop those up. That's kind of wasteful. It leaves you with, it gives you a good, it's got 4 pretty good quality wires in there, so I'll use this for something. I'm probably not going to use it for this one. I have a box of wire here that I use for everything, So I got these micro USB little ports here. So you can see that. That's the female, that's the male. It's obviously got little 4 pins that you solder off of. Hopefully I can get those. They're pretty small. I'm not the best solderer, whatever you call it. Electronicer? I don't know. What do you call it? I'm not the best at soldering, but I'm getting better, so practice makes perfect and all that. Really, it's perfect practice makes perfect, because if you practice something the wrong way, you'll always get it wrong. I'm not sure which direction these connect, though, so that might be a little bit of an experiment. I don't want to accidentally do positive to negative and negative to positive. I want it to go the right way, obviously. I also have these switches that controls power. Just a regular push button switch. These are pretty hardy little switches. And then to connect to that, I have this 2-piece print. It's a pole and the shape on the outside, so that's your external button that just glues on. And then just printed in gold, because that's what I have in the printer, is the little spacer so that it doesn't fall out, basically. I had used some foam, but it was too squishy, and it just, like, you push in and it just stayed in, so it didn't go anywhere. So I replaced that with this. I've got 2 that I've got to work on today, so I'll probably just, we're 25 minutes in and I haven't even started doing anything. Just going to show you tools I'm using. So I've got a soldering iron. I've got the helping hands, obviously. I use 2 of them because I don't feel like they reach at the right angle for me. But I've got a soldering iron. I'm not sure on the brand. I have came in a little kit. Tabiger. That's the brand. It's a pretty good kit. It comes with this little stand with the little sponge on it, and the sponge you gotta heat up or wet every time, or else it's just a gross dry sponge. It comes with this little suction thing, comes with some tweezers, really bad wire strippers, a couple of lengths of wire, different heads. That should go in there. Oh, instructions, cool. Never read instructions. But I got it because it's variable temperature. That's pretty cool. I usually keep it at about 300 Celsius. The electronics doesn't use Fahrenheit. But that, I have to stand up. That goes there. I've started leaving it hanging there. Still working on some workshop organization. I've got this big cube thing underneath my desk. What this desk is, actually, it's countertop height, and it is a countertop. I went to IKEA and bought a countertop. It's like $60 or $70. It's, like that thick, and it's about 72 inches long. By about, what is this mat, 36 inches, so about 3 feet across. So it's a really good work surface. I have it up on top of 2 cube storage units from Target that I have counter mounted into the wall in multiple places. Everywhere there's a stud behind it, I have it mounted, and then I also have the counter mounted. So it's not going anywhere. It's very stable. But I've got those cube things under there, and I need to go through and kind of organize stuff right now. I moved here in March, and I'm still unpacking. We've still got boxes all over the garage. That's what happens when you keep things in storage for like 6 years. There's stuff I hadn't seen in forever. But also, I've got solder. Obviously, you use... It says lead, but obviously it's not really lead, it's tin. Because they don't make lead solder anymore. Because that gave people, terrible brain conditions. Yeah. Fun. Spoilers for TV shows that maybe involve people that solder a lot. I'm not even going to say a TV show. And then I've got a 9-volt connector. I was so worried I didn't have these because I remembered buying a bunch of them for another project, and obviously 6 years in storage, didn't know where they were, found them. Glad. I have like a dozen of them, I think. So I got plenty for this. And then I've got 9-volt lithium ion micro USB rechargeable battery. This is what makes this project work. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure leaving this on would drain the battery very fast. This is a 9-volt battery. The LED strips I got, I accidentally bought ones that are waterproof. They have this silicone sleeve all around them, which I found out actually if you heat them up to about 140 degrees, that peels right off. Can you see that? Oh, I have a magnifying glass. That's hard to see. Anyway, so I put them in a bag in my sous vide when I was cooking something, and left it in there for about an hour, and it heated up, and I was able to peel off on the bigger strip, like I have the rest of a strip. This was just a test piece, which is the same length as the circumference of the inner, and then see these, I pulled the strip off. Because they don't need to be waterproof on the inside, and it just kind of takes up more space, and I'm already at kind of like a limit on space. But these are rated for 5 volts, 9-volt battery, 5-volt LEDs. Oh no, they're going to explode, but they're not, because each LED has a resistor in front of it. So it's actually pretty fine. Obviously, I'm not recommending you do this. It's just what I'm doing right now. But it works just fine. It doesn't overpower them. They come out bright as could be. And I haven't had any issues. I've left the one over here by my desk on for like a week and going strong, no issues with the LEDs. The battery, when I unplugged the charging cable, was dead, but I think it just basically runs the power of the battery, and then it just runs straight from the micro USB the whole time. So you have to turn it off and let it charge for a while if you're gonna like take it down and go out somewhere or something. But these are really easy to use. They've got the little splits. I like these ones. This brand, I ordered a different brand for more from like AliExpress because they're cheaper. I imagine they're the same quality. I'll be getting them pretty soon. Oh, hey, Tricky Trav. Oh, hey, Travis. I saw you say hello. How's it going, man? So I got these LED strips. These are pretty good because they've only got one LED per segment, so you don't have to worry about breaking anything up, and then you're not like, 3, do these fit? I don't know. But yeah, that'll just go, here's the one I'm working on. Just goes around the outside there, and that'll get wired in. Let me get started on actually soldering. I've already preheated the iron. I'm going to start with my switch. So we got our switch here. Also need to get some heat shrink tubing. I just have a bag of it here. I like to use this. I got this red stuff. I think I got it at Daiso, actually. If I recall correctly. That's a great little store if you have one nearby. It's like the Japanese dollar store. Well, it's like the Japanese $1.50 store. Yeah, this heat shrinking, $1.50 for. I've been using this for a few years. But I'm going to cut some off. That's just going to go over the little leads here and the wire that connects. You don't have to do this, but it makes things look neater on the inside, and then it reduces the chances of you accidentally shorting it by crossing a wire or having wires touch each other. Sorry, I'm doing off camera. Always forget. Let me angle this up slightly and lower this light. There. My setup is kind of rigged. I have this OT light, and I have a camera attached to it, and then you can see my board there, pegboard. I keep forgetting the word peg. I don't know why. No peg. So there. Cut that off. Let's do some soldering. So when you do a switch, you want to put it on the positive line. You want to stop the power from going in. So, electricity, power in, out. So, positive. We're going to cut the red line. Cut the red wire! Cut the red wire! So, no, sorry, I need a cough button. Talking makes my throat hurt. I had Zoom meetings at work all week too, so don't like talking too much. But I got these wire strippers. This wire is slightly smaller than the wire stripper, but I just strip off, what's that, like half a centimeter or so? And then, you're not going to throw this away. That's going to go on the other side of the switch. So, strip off that bit. It's kind of weird doing this out in front of my face, like 3 or 4 feet. Maybe I'll move this camera so it's closer, so I don't have to be leaning over so much. I hurt my back somehow. I was pulling a drawer out of a dresser and I hurt my back doing that because I'm old now. And mainly because I don't do anything, not because I'm old. But let's move this slightly closer. Don't panic, you're going to carry a top. It's my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy t-shirt I'm wearing today. Oh no, that's going to fall because of the weight. Let's see. Oh no, I ruined everything. How far down can it go before it starts to fall on its own? There we go. Okay, got a message. Oh, my wife loves me. That's so nice. Makes me happy. Okay, let's see. So we're going to wire this up. One thing you never forget when you are doing wiring, make sure you put the heat shrink on first. I've done it so many times where I've been like, oh yeah, I got this all wired up, and then I realized, oh, I didn't put heat shrink on it. I can't go back and do that now. I have to unwire it or cut the heat shrink, and then it doesn't really work as well. Okay, that's cool. It'll help y'all see. Let me try this other magnifying glass. This one is like right all up on top of it, but this other one is further away and it has a light. Let me see if I can get that angled to where it's good for the camera. No, I don't say it like that. Camera. I am from Texas. Don't hold that against me. Okay, rotate that, clip, clip, clip. Our alligators are gonna get you. That's kind of dirty. Test that off first. Hey, look, I'm like 36 minutes into the stream and I haven't actually started wiring anything yet. Look at me. Now, this is how I usually work anyway. Is that useful? I think that's useful. It certainly makes what I'm doing bigger for you. I can see through there. I don't really need a magnifying glass. My eyesight's actually pretty good. Surprisingly. My eyesight's pretty good. I'm wearing glasses. I can't see the computer anymore. Right. Anyway, so alligator clip that. That's still. I'm just gonna turn this off. Sorry if it looks a little far away. It's just I don't think you're gonna be able to see with the glare from the light above me. I can't turn the light off above me because then it'll be really dark in here, and I'll have to turn this light on, and you know. So heat shrink is still on there. You don't want it right up on top of the wire because then you will the heat from the soldering iron. Oh, this is kind of off balance because of this being way over there. Straighten that up. Okay. The heat from the soldering iron will cause the heat shrink tubing to heat and then, shrink. And then you won't be able to slide it over the wire. And then that will kind of defeat the purpose. Yeah, there we go. So let's put some heat on here. I forgot to tin the wire, which that's just you put a little bit of solder on there. Let me do that real quick. Okay. I'm realizing that I'm not getting any power because I turned off the power strip. Yep. I let that heat up now, so yeah. That's dead cold. I thought that felt weird. Wasn't even slightly warm. Let's see. In the meantime, I guess I can measure and cut the length of wire I need for the interior. So I ran it. Where did I run it? Did I run it on the inside or the outside? Let me look. I took a picture of it, didn't I? Let's look. This is why you take pictures of everything. Oh, here's a funny picture. So my smaller 3D printer is a kitty tech, so I've started calling it Kitty. So I gave it some ears and a little nose. Those little magnets, I guess, to the eyes. I think I'm gonna cut some little foam teeth. I don't know. It's just cute. It's fun to do cute things sometimes. Let's see. Aha! I took a picture of it. So yeah, bad memory. I do it on the outside of the inner ring. And then I use this aluminum tape to cause reflection so that it's a little bit, it's not brighter, but you don't lose as much light because it bounces around more. Maybe it's brighter. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I play one on TV. So I'm going to measure this out for the inner ring. Let's see. So that's going to go like this. Do. I'm gonna get hit by cease and desist. Please stop mangling our music. Your voice sounds terrible. I like karaoke though, but you know, with the plague, can't really do that. Let's see. Okay, so that's not that bad. It's pretty short. This stuff's pretty great because you can just cut it with scissors. Just got to make sure you go between the little dots, and you want to make sure that you are, when you wire this back up, make sure that you wire the resistor end, or, you know, again, it's a 5-volt rated item that you're plugging a 9-volt battery into. You're probably going to fry it if you don't, because the electricity will go to this LED before it goes to the resistor. This resistor will probably protect the rest of them, but you're going to burn out the first one at least. This spool actually came wired the wrong way, so I would have burned out the first LED had I not checked that. Always good to check, make sure everything's done. The first spool I got wasn't, but these are, I mean, they're both going to go in the same place, so I'm going to just make them the same length. On the previous one, it was just one continuous strand, so it went outside and then inside the outer ring and the inner ring with the same strip. I didn't connect it with wires, but I think this time I'm going to connect it with wires because this takes up more space than just 2 little wires will, and it'll look a lot neater. No one's going to see it, Brian, but I will know what's in there, and I don't want it to look bad. These are 2 I've got made for customers. One's the guy who did some art for me on my body. That I'm not going to show my tattoos, it's weird. But I'm making one for him, and then I have these in Etsy, so you can buy them there, and so I have a customer there who's waiting for one. He's the one that had me do the color inserts. Ooh, I'm going to have to buy another spool. This is good to know. So, basically, 1 spool of this lets me make 2 rings. Wait, maybe not 1. Let me double check, because I have to check how long this is. So this is the outer ring. This length. Do I have enough to do another outer ring, because this is from another spool? Hopefully. That would be pretty awesome if I can do exactly 2 from 1 spool, because these are like $12. This version that I got on Amazon, link in the description, whatever. I'm not an affiliate or anything. This is, oh no, it's not quite long enough. You see there, it's got like that much less. So I wouldn't be able to do fully 2 out of this. Is this the same length as the inner ring though? It's exactly 1 square less than the inner ring, so I could probably get away with that. So that makes, so I can do a little bit of math in my head. I'm going to do 3 inner rings and 1 outer ring from a spool. Okay, that's not bad. These all come in a pretty standard length. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like, I don't know. It's like some number of feet. But I do have a little bit of strip left over from the first one I did, because I kind of mangled it. Let me pull down the part. So the original model, it has these little dividers every once in a while. Yeah, you can't shove It's like putting a square peg into a round hole. You can't just shove that around there. I mean, you can. I got it about this far, but then I powered it up, and like most of them were out because I had broken the connection internally. So I have a little bit of this left over from the previous one, and I'm gonna go through on the. I printed this before I made the modification to the model where I just took those out. I might go back and put them back in because they do help keep this rigid when I'm gluing in the inner ring. And I found that when I was doing it on this one, I have two different versions of this inner ring. Inner ring is just, this one is just, it fits exactly in there, and this one has a little bit of a flange on it. Down here it has a little bit of a flange so that it can be glued to the edge instead of right inside of it, because I had, again, on my original one I had issues where the glue on the edge caused, it's not as visible on this, but I think it is on this one. No. It caused a lot of vapor release, and so it like, see how this has like the white stuff on it? That's just like cyanoacrylate lets off a vapor if it's I think if it's like kept from air. I don't know. If you put a cover over something that you freshly superglue, it will fog up like that. Like they do that for fingerprints, I think, sometimes. So that's not good. You don't want that. So that happened all over the outside of one of them. So I had to, that's why mine has such a tight switch, is because I had to spray paint it. So it's got slightly a little bit of a buildup. Oh, that's so close. It's again one short. So I think I can use this because it's going to get a little bit longer when I solder them together, because I'm going to have to splice in a length of wire. So that'll be just long enough. Okay, so I have enough. I mean, I already had enough for two because I have this full length one. But when I buy another spool of this size, I will have enough for two because I have that little extra piece from the one that screwed up. You got to do a lot of figuring out this kind of stuff so that you can price your stuff the right way. You don't want to be severely undercutting yourself by buying super expensive supplies and then wasting a lot because you're increasing your overhead. Hell, I went to business school. I actually kind of know these things. It's weird. I don't use it a lot, but when I do remember things from it, it's pretty helpful actually. Okay, so trip down business school lane and some explanation of electronics and what have you later. Wait, ooh, crud. This is the short one. Okay, so the short one, you will go over here for later. I only need two right now. I do have a third order, but haven't even printed it yet because Magneto's going. And when Magneto is done, then Tron can start again. He's been going for 39 hours at this point. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it. It's just light too bright. Let me try turn it off again. No, not too bright. Okay. Alright, well, let's get soldering. This is hot now. There's a little sponge. I'll put it in the camera. There's a little wet sponge here that's for, like, getting extra globs of solder off. Solder is such a weird word. It's S-O-L-D-E-R, but you don't say solder. It's not a soldering iron. It's a soldering iron. I've only heard, like, people from other countries say solder, and they haven't been from English-speaking countries. So, I don't know why there's an L there. It should be spelled like S-A-U-D-E-R? I don't know. Alright. I'm sure some linguist would know, but I am not one. I didn't tin this wire first, which is where you just put a little bit of solder on it to get it kind of like started and to make sure that the wires don't fray. It's like the equivalent of, what do they call it? Hemming? No. I don't know why I'm trying to use a sewing term to explain what this wiring is. I guess wiring and sewing are kind of similar in ways, like there's weaving and stuff. I don't know what I'm babbling about. Okay, so I've got that soldered. That's pretty easy, right? It's just a little dot. Boom. Put this back on its stands. Get this organized right here. Let me move some of these tools. I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't want to light it on fire. Oh, and I'm dumb and I have like the LED sitting right on top of the soldering iron. So that could be bad. Let's clean up that issue. Where did my lighter go? Here it is. Okay, so Flickumbicus. What we're going to do now is put the heat shrink tubing over here. I do end up bending these in the final build-up, but I'll put that over there. You can use like the edge of the soldering iron to do this, but I'm not a fan of doing that. I feel like it's going to melt. So you just heat that up, see how it shrinks up. It looks so much more professional that way. It might be a little toasty on the back. I think I can see that I blackened it. But blackened is the end and something metallic. So that's there. So we're splicing in a switch into this. This I don't have to put it on there because this is open end right now. So, but I will leave it off to the side here so I don't forget to put it on after. So I will do that. I will willfully just be like, let's keep going, and then forget. Let's see, touch that. I still didn't tin it. Whatever. Don't get these too close to each other. You will not have a good time. I was just listening to a podcast, the Do Go On podcast on Planet Broadcasting Network. The Australian comedians, they do reports every week on different topics, and this week they were talking about Woodstock, which was pretty funny. They were talking about how when CCR went on at like midnight on the Saturday, they looked out and like most of the people were asleep. There was just like a crowd of people just collapsed, but then in the back they heard a guy flick his bick and yell, "No, we're here, we're listening," or something like that, because they felt like no one was watching. But they're Australian, so they don't really know American slang like that, so they thought flicking his bick was like a masturbation term, so they were cracking up about that. And then they were like, oh wait, no. He is lighting a lighter. That would be really weird. And then Flickumbicus is from Dresden Files. Good book series, Jim Butcher. That's what Harry says. That's like his low-level spell for casting fire, is to, because he had cheated as a child by flicking a bick and got in trouble about it, but then he transferred that into the spell name, because in Dresden Files, spell names are like nonsense and pseudo-Latin stuff. Because you don't want to accidentally, make a spell that is hello, and then you say hello and someone's head explodes accidentally when you're just trying to greet them. There's power in words, or something like that. I'm going to be right back. I am out of Dr. Pepper, and I would like to switch to water. So, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, back. I always forget that talking makes me very thirsty. I've got my Yeti. Yeah, this 3D printed handle on there. It's pretty cool. It's got my name on it. Like I wouldn't know that it's mine. But a brown filament green mug looks good together. Oh, and you might have noticed I've 3D printed one of the elements from the fifth element. This is the fire. I'm going to work on the rest of them, but they take literally like 24 hours to print on my new printer. So it's actually tall enough. I could have split it up and done it in multiple parts on the kitty, but I like it to just be one big piece. I'm going to hit it with some like sandstone textured paint, which I think will look pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, back to wiring. Let's see. Okay, so I've got a switch built in. So that is that, and then it is going to connect to this wire from the LED strip. This LED strip has lost most of its stickiness. I took off the cover on it off of the quote-unquote 3M adhesive. It's not really 3M adhesive. It's just some off-brand probably. But I need to power it back up. So again, make sure you do it on the side that has a resistor. Some of these models you get will have like arrows that point the direction that you're like, electricity goes that way, not that way. So I make sure let's see, so I don't need this length of wire because I've got that huge old piece of wire there. This might actually be too long, but I think I'm going to leave it that length. If it is too long, I can always just kind of spool it around itself. But see, black and red will connect. Well, actually, I will shorten it. I will shorten it to the length of the black wire, because obviously there's a switch there now. So this wire is about the length of a switch longer. It's a little bit less, I think, just because stuff. Ooh, that's weird. My flush cutters, I think, are a little sticky. I think I used a nip off the top of a bottle of super glue. But I like to keep the little cutoffs. You never know when you might need them for something. Like I've gone so many times where I've been like, oh no, I can't find any of my wires. What do I do? Oh, I have all these little cutoff pieces from something else. I will use those. Oh, water's so good. My wife doesn't like water. She likes to drink. Well, she doesn't like still water or unflavored water. She drinks. Like in the 90s, I would have been like, oh, you drink Perrier. Oh, okay. No, but now like Perrier is just like, oh yeah, that's just the flavored sparkling water. But yeah, I mean, you gotta stay hydrated somehow. I understand. It's not a big deal. Whatever. Let's snip that off. And some of them taste pretty good. I've been cutting down on sodas. Well, I had been cutting down on sodas, and then I moved. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. Where I was living before, I was cutting down on sodas. And I kind of like the taste of the Perrier now. Like, they had a very subtle taste before. But now, it's pretty good. I feel like they either have increased the strength of the flavoring, or I've gotten used to not drinking sugary, syrupy drinks every day, which I had been doing. Not good for your health, not good for your weight. Just not good. And so I think they started tasting a little better to me because I was not overpowering my taste buds with all that sugar. But they're pretty good. I don't really drink them that much. My wife has found the limoncello one she really loves. And it's pretty good. It's obviously not alcoholic like limoncello is, but you don't have to be boozing it up all the time. Just sometimes. It's that little sticky thing on there. Okay, let's wire this up. That's that. There's already a little bit of solder on here because this is the original connector. I'll make sure I get that lined up. And the reason you use these helping hand... I did exactly what I said not to do, which was forgot to put heat shrink tubing on this. But it's not a big deal because actually I'll need a big piece here, so it has to be able to fit over this anyway, so not a problem right now. I think I have, for some reason, melted some onto this end to cover this, even though it's gonna have to be wired in. Give me 1 second. So really, I could be doing this, actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna rethink this. I don't think I'm gonna wire it to this one. I think I'm gonna, on the other one, I start on the outer and work to the inner. I don't know why I did it that way, but I think I'm gonna do it reverse of that. Start on the inner and go to the outer, and that way the wiring isn't really on the outside too much. It's mainly it'll make sense to me. So let's start over. Let's go with the smaller one here. It's it's exactly the same. This part just isn't insulated. Again, I took that insulation off. It's not necessary because you shouldn't be throwing this in the water. And it's pretty well protected from direct water. If you dip it in water, you're going to ruin the battery in any case, so don't throw it in the water. So I don't need the expensive. Well, it's not even expensive because obviously I paid the same for it because I took it off. But you don't need that extra bit of weight or space taking. Like, remember I said it takes up space. So we're going to do that. Clip that one. Clip that one. Pretty much everything here I bought on Amazon though. Like, pretty much buy everything on Amazon. A lot of things you could get. One thing I need to do, I need to build a fume extractor. You can make one with like a case, like a computer case fan, and just like a HEPA filter, and just like 3D print a holder for it. So I'm gonna do that probably soon because the soldering. I don't think it's toxic. Famous words to die by. No, I know it's non-toxic. It's gross. You don't want to be breathing it anyway, even if it is non-toxic. Let's see. That one is slightly too small. It actually probably would have been okay if I hadn't. Screw it. I'm just gonna put. I'm gonna unsolder that real quick. Oh, but as I was saying, the reason you use helping hands is because one, you only have 2 hands, and 2, this can actually get pretty hot. I've almost burned myself before playing with soldering. Not playing. No, I was playing, definitely. I learned how to solder from my dad, sort of. He did some sort of electronic stuff. I think he did like a DeVry thing. But I learned how to do it from him originally, but I didn't really understand the theory of it. He just kind of showed me how it works. And that's where I have the idea of you like heat the item, not the solder, because you want to make sure that you got a good bond. If you're just heating up the stuff that melts at a low temperature and sticking 2 stuff into it, they might not necessarily have gotten to temperature. Put that on there. Okay. So I got the heat shrink tubing there, and that'll cover this. These won't touch each other, but it'll, like if I was going super extra, I could do a tiny little piece of heat shrinking over each wire, but that's really not necessary. They're so up on top of this. I know I'm covering everything up with my hands that I'm doing, but with me. Roar, bear with me. Heat that up. Get that on there. Oh, I don't need more solder because I already have enough on there. Get that on. Okay, that is wired up. And before I heat shrink it, let's test, see if it works. Hashing! So bright. That's really good. Yep. These power with 3 triple or double A's. The double A's are like 1.5 volts, so it'd be 4.5 volts charging it, because there's 3 of them. So that wouldn't have actually been the full capacity of these 5 volts. So powering it with a 3 battery pack, one would have run those batteries down faster than 9-volt battery will be run down. I think that's how electronics works. I don't know. I'm a beginner. But it would have also made it to where it wouldn't have been quite as bright, because it's not using its full potential. Flick on Bickus, where'd you go? There you are. So, break out the Bic. This episode also brought to you by this possibly 10-year-old Bic lighter I just found on the ground somewhere. I think I found it when I worked at a hotel. Someone left it on the counter at the valet stand that I worked at. So I just kept it. Because, you know, you'd have people that would be like, hey, you got a lighter? Because, I don't know, smokers seem to think people should provide things to them or something. Yeah. So that's that. That works. That is awesome. So now we're going to connect it to the other end. But first, we're going to test fit it to make sure it's the right length still. I know it is the right length because I just did it. But I got to make sure because, you know, shit happens. Life has told us that. We're living in a pandemic. Living in a pandemic. So, oh, it's on a switch. I'm like, oh, I don't want to plug the battery in because it'll be all bright. But it's on a switch, so I'll just turn the switch off. And then it won't be all bright because electricity. That's a little long. It's just like plastic, so I'm going to cut that off. Probably should have done it before I put it on the battery, but who cares? These flush cutters are great. They're CHP, I think that's the brand. Or CHP 170s. Oh, they're made in Italy. That's pretty cool. I mainly use them for like clipping filament before it put it in the printer, because when you pull filament out of your printer, it kind of has like a blob on the end. I bet I have a piece. So I tend to just toss them on the ground and let the Roomba take care of them. But so I got these flush cutters just to clean that up a little bit. I'm also going to use this is just a surgical retractor thing. I don't remember where I got this. Possibly from my mom. She was a nurse, and she used to come home with those in her pockets, because, you know, you'd have them, and then you'd forget that you had them, and you'd just drive home with them in your pocket. And so, a little boy like I, who is into building things, would take them and use them for things. Okay, so there's that spacer. I gotta make sure that the wires are not on top of this, because they will get squished by the next layer, because they sit flush together. So I'm gonna have to run this wire like right behind the button so that it goes through this. like that. And then this needs to go. This might not have been the best direction. Let me see. Rethink this. Do over. How about we go this way? And then we don't have that issue. We do still have to run the wires to the outside through this little post, but that's kind of why I made this post, is so that wires aren't getting in the way of each other. So battery goes there. Battery. Battery. To the levers. I feel like I've never done this before, but I have already done one. Okay, it's because of, yeah, I see. So this goes there, this goes there. Wow, it's really good that I did not cut the stuff down because it would not fit. Oh, I know what I did. I put it on the outside. And the other one. Excuse me, I put a little bit there. Ah, I see what I did. I connected it too close. It should be closer to here. So this length is too short and this length is too long, so it's not fitting now. I think I can rectify that. Doing nuts. What did I do? Oh no. Okay, it does need to go this way. I might go the other way in the other one, but this one just, it's gotta go this way. That's fine. That's why we heat shrink things also, because look, all this wiring is on top of each other. But it's heat shrunk, so it's not going too short. There. Okay. Crammed in there. Cram it with walnuts, squirrely. I might shorten that black wire, but I'm not sure at the moment. But here we go. So that goes around there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm going to put another heat shrink over this when I connect it to the other one. So I got to remember to do that. That's the next piece. Let's put... Oh, did I put that heat shrink back in the bag? Didn't need to. I knew I was going to need more. That's fine. Here it is. So I'm only going to use like a very... I don't want this to accidentally short. So I'm going to use that much. Just going to slide it over this. Down to about there. Again, you don't want to heat up the heat shrink tubing before you're ready for it to shrink, or you will have problems. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Let's get the wires on there first. Hey, look, it's that little piece of red wire I saved from earlier. What are we going to use that for? Well, I don't know, Professor. Well, we're obviously just going to use it for wiring this. It's not actually touching, it's slightly above it. There we go. Yeah, so use this stuff. I'm going to use this other piece of wire too. This is my black wire next. Why waste it? It's there. And since I don't have the fume extractor currently built, I'm just kind of blowing them away. Like tears in the rain. What? I don't know. Shut up. Let's see, that is super long now, so let's snip that off. I will trim this one because this wire is really spindly and kind of gross. I don't know how wire is gross, it just is. Don't worry about it. It's just gross. Brian said it's gross, so it must be gross. He knows things about wires being gross. An Inspector Gadget there for you. I don't know. I just sing theme songs to myself all the time. So we're gonna nip that off. It doesn't have to be very long. It just has to get to the next piece. I'm not gluing anything down yet. When I do, I'll use super glue, because why not? But I just want to wire the lights for right now, and then I'm going to wire the micro USB connectors together. I'm going to have to test that to make sure they work, because I'm not sure if they do. I'm not sure which side's positive, which side. Ooh. Oh, this heat shrink is pulling off of this wire. I might have to switch wires. Yeah, I'm gonna undo this. This wire sucks. I don't want to use sucky wire. It's like the cheapest wire they could have used, I guess, or something. I don't need that connected. I just need to pull that off. Okay, I'm going to use some of this nice wire I used for Bob. It's like silicone coated. Oh, it's rated up to 200 degrees. That's weird. I use my soldering iron at 300, I think. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I was just stripping off the insulation. I keep calling it heat shrink. It's not. Heat shrink is a material you use after you've removed the insulation, and the original stuff on the wire is called the insulation. So, helping hand, you're not really helping. Using this prevents you from burning yourself, which is something I've done before. Because, you know why I use wires? It's because they're conductive. And you know what conducts along a wire pretty well? Heat. So while there is insulation that protects you from some of the heat, it does not protect you from all of it. And, 300 degrees Celsius is pretty hot. That's, 3 times the boiling point of water. You know what your cells are made out of? Water. Anyway, this has been Brian's Science Corner. Let's get this there. Oh, those are not the same length. Not even slightly. Probably should have measured it first, right? I always worry about stripping the wire once it's already connected to something, because I worry it's going to pull out, but it did not. That's why I took the other wire off, because it was just the whole insulation was pulling off, and I didn't want that to happen. I just wanted the part I needed off. Oh, I have this backwards. Aha! I really like, you can't see, but they have a positive negative marked on there, which is very useful. You don't have to trial and error it. You just do it. Just do it. Do it. Get to the chopper. Just watched Predator again the other day. Haven't seen that in a long time. Wife and I have been watching some. We started out watching we started out watching what? A few days ago we watched Escape from New York with some friends. And then we watched Escape from LA. And then we were like, oh, we should watch some horror movies. We were going to watch The Thing, but we didn't get around to it. We got to Predator yesterday. I haven't seen that one. Or day before yesterday? I don't know. I haven't seen that in a long time. I love how that movie just starts out. It's like crazy military action movie. They're just going around blowing up the favela, these guerrillas in the jungle, and then suddenly, oh yeah, this is a horror movie. That's such a good thing. I love Joel McTiernan's thing where he does that. I saw a good video from Patrick Willems, where he analyzed Joel McTiernan's way he'll do that with movies, like change the narrative that's going on, like Die Hard, how it starts out is, oh, it's terrorists attacking this building, and then it's like, oh wait, no, it's not. It's a heist movie. And then Hunt for October, it's like, oh no, these Russians are coming to bomb the U.S. And then it's like, oh wait, no, they're not. They're actually trying to defect. That's cool. All those Russians in that movie, you know, like Sean Connery and Sam Neill and Pennywise the Clown. What's that guy's name? Tim Curry. They're so Russian, and Tim Curry's the only one I think who's like legitimately trying to do a Russian accent, and it's horrible because he's just like, I'm Tim Curry, I am Russian, everybody's Russian, ah. It's like, dude, you're British. Sean Connery's Scottish. Sam Neill's from New Zealand. None of y'all sound Russian. Okay, let's try this again. Power! Lights! Got a full strip of light. Woo, that's still hot from the lighter. Okay, cool. So that works. That is awesome. If you notice, like, this is kind of more blue than this. I think it's from the insulation, or the silicone that's on it that keeps it waterproof. That's fine. It'll look fine. I think this is going to be the one I'm going to do that's not going to have the light adapter, because I think it'll look cooler for the outer ring to be more blue than the inner ring. But this is good. Got that wired up. Okay, so I'm not going to install this yet. I'm just going to put it aside. Be kind of boring just to do the other one again. So let's play with micro USB connectors. Could they be more micro? I don't think I need much length. That's what she said. No, I don't think I need much length between the adapters and the the adapters. That's what you call it, actually. I don't think I need much length, so I'm gonna give myself like that much. I don't want a million wires in there just popping out everywhere. If the person has to take this apart to just, if that battery goes flat at some point or something, you know, that happens. Batteries don't last forever. They only charge up again, you know, however many times. So if they have to go in there and replace that battery, I don't want them having to figure out how I put this stuff together and how they can get it back together, or accidentally breaking a wire and their toy or prop or whatever not working anymore. That'd be worse, you know, like dressed up as Rensler, you got your helmet on, you bought 2 Tron Identity Discs from Variable Penguin Designs on Etsy, and oh no, I have to switch out this battery. Oh, that's easy. I can buy a 9-volt battery. Okay, there we go. I got it installed. Oh, what? Everything is broken now because the wires are clipping together. So I am going to tin these real quick. And again, tinning, you just... See, that's how you know this isn't lead. It's called tinning. It's not called leading. There you go. There you go. See, it's just... boom, quick, done. Keeps these wires from unwinding and being all fanned out. Prevents them from like being all bristly out and stuff. You want a straight line. Okay, so I've got these two parts. So I've got the positive and I've got the negative. For some reason not positive, female and male. For some reason the female one the pins are so much smaller. I wish I had bought the same brand of the two, because I bet that one is the same. But I'm gonna assume that, like, you wire them up the way they go in. So I imagine black to black and then red. I mean, there's no colors, but I know the power is going to be the outside too, just from breaking apart that other one. So here we go. Let's hope this works. So I already got 10, so I can kind of just heat up what's on there and mash it in. Okay. I think that worked. Let's disconnect. Yep. Okay. So let's get the red one. I might need a little more solder for that one. Let's lower it. Lower it. Lower it. How does that feel, baby? I started listening to a podcast called Mic Check. It's a while ago, but it's these two guys. One of them might be Australian. Different Australians from earlier, though. But they're going back through Mike Myers' back catalog to check to see if his movies are still any good. To see, like, I think they're like, he's kind of fallen out of the public conscious. Why did that happen? And yeah, so they keep quoting Austin Powers throughout. So that goes like that, but it flipped. So I need to put the black on the outside. I hope. We'll find out. Hopefully, miswiring on this doesn't cause anything to explode. That wouldn't be great. Don't want to short out my 9-volt batteries. They're not super expensive, but they are not cheap either. Wait, are there 4 or 5? There's 4, okay. I want to accidentally solder it just to the outside of this case. I can't imagine doing this for all of them. Like doing the 4, wasn't enough. I guess I need to put some solder on the pin. This has removable heads. Let me look and see if one of these is like micro thin. It might require me waiting for this to cool down and switching out. But not the same size. There's one that's slightly thinner, but it's not so thinner that I'd want to waste the time to put it on there. I'll probably do that before the next one of these I do. But for right now, let's get this done. Luckily, I have like 20 of these, I think. I ordered them in a pack. It was like $3 or $5 for 20, I think. Might have been less than that, actually. Can't remember. It was like $3 or $4. Shuckity darns. Did it wrong. I forgot they got a cross. Just because of how it flips. Why don't I turn this around? Stupid. There we go. Yeah, so that goes in that way, so I almost did it backwards just because I'm goofy. think it's older than me. Stole it from my dad. He got it in Ireland. My mom is Irish. That or it might be one of my grandfathers. My mom's dad. Can't remember. I think I need to put more tin on here. I said, ooh, real quick, but I want to do another electronics thing. After I do these, I saw this really cool video from Tested. Norm Chan on there did this thing where he basically replaced the plastic lightsaber on a 1/12th or 1/16th scale. I don't know the scale. Star Wars figure / statue, so like the Sideshow action figure scale or Hot Toys scale figures, where we replaced the lightsaber with the cold cathode neon lights they use in cars. It had like a 6-inch cold cathode instead of the plastic one. And it was really cool. It was all like lit up and stuff. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to test this by plugging it into USB power and then plugging this end into the battery and seeing if it lights up. Fingers crossed, doesn't explode. If it doesn't light up, then I need to flip the polarity. Boom! Look at that. It's charging now. That makes me pretty happy. Can you see that? It's red. Look at that. Yes. And that's cool because, like, you put it in the ring. Trying to slide off again. You put it in the ring there. Put it in the ring there. So hard to see because it's bright, so bright in here. You can see it kind of glows, so you know when it's charging. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so I think that's cool. I think I did not screw it up too badly. Now I'm gonna plug the battery because I don't want to work with it while it's got electricity running through it. That's no fun to electrocute yourself. I don't think I've done that in several years. The last thing I did, time I electrocuted myself, was when I was a kid. You know, I think they shouldn't leave the, So here's a little music. Getting electrocuted teaches you not to do that. You're not gonna fry yourself sticking a fork into an outlet. I never did that. What I did was, you know, you get, where's the end of this? Come here. You got your plug, you know, you're putting it in the outlet. As a kid, you don't have the best hand-eye coordination, so you're kind of aiming it as you put it in. That's how I electrocuted myself as a kid. And then you're like, whoa, ouch. Don't do that. Now, obviously, yeah, I mean, kids are stupid. One of them will put a fork into an outlet or something, so I can see why parents get those outlet covers. Not criticizing that at all, that makes sense. Kids aren't stupid, they just don't know better. Because, you know, they don't have experience, because they are chitlins. How much of this do I need? Only a little bit. I bought these, like, bulk things of heat shrink tubing. Sometimes you get them and they come in, like, a cool little kit. Where, like, this container of screws I have here, where it's got like little dividers and stuff. Some of the heat shrink ones will come like that, but it's like, that's so much extra wasted plastic. Just Toss them in a plastic bag for me, man. I'm cool. I don't need dividers. I'll just fish through there and pick out the ones I need. That's not going to fit over, but I think it'll fit on this end, and I think I can slide it down. Oh, it's got these little feet. I did it again, but I have these needle nose pliers. I can stretch it just a little. No, I can't. Oh, mercy. I was talking about it so much, and then I did it. Now I'm at that point where I'm like, do I need it though? No, I don't. Because that's why I put heat shrink tubing on the other part. Because I knew I was going to forget. Yeah. So, let's get this part back out. So I'm done with wiring, basically. I'm just going to put this together, I guess, now. I guess. Let's see. So let's see. We need... So this part goes into the battery, and this part goes into the charger. USB charger goes in like this. I want it to where the flat end goes in, because it's got little teeth on it. Wait, no, I want it the other way, because it has little teeth on it. So I want it there. But let's make sure this fits in. Okay, so that goes. Okay, so it just needs to be basically flush with the edge a little bit, almost flush, like barely not flush with the edge. I super glued it before. Uh-oh, that wire is coming loose. Shoot. Let's resolder that real quick. Get that on there. Get that on there. Get that in here. That's why I didn't unplug the soldering iron. Get back, you beast. I think I have a little bit of solder on the case. I need to get that off. I don't want it to short. That would suck so bad. Do I? Yes, it's on there. I think I'm going to order different ones of these. I'm not a fan of this being so tight and so small. I guess these are probably ones that just like fit into a pre-printed circuit board or something. But obviously I don't have a pre-printed circuit board. I'm winging it, as they say in the world. I don't know, sometimes I do a weird German accent. What am I gonna do? I'm talking about accents. Jeez. No, just kidding. I'm sure I have some sort of accent, but I can't hear it because it's my voice. Uh-oh, twisted a little bit. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. No. Where's that piece of heat shrink to cut? I already cut it. Might as well use it. There it is. No, that's the switch. There it is. Okay. I just thought the reason it wasn't fitting over is these little prongs, and I think those little prongs are actually going to get in the way. Oh no! It fell off completely. Oh man. Subtitle of this video: One man losing his mind slowly as everything falls apart. Nah, that's okay. Come on. What time is it? Oh, I still got 20 minutes left of the mentioned length of the stream. Well, since it came off, I'm just going to heat shrink this now. Why not? Let's just use some pliers a little bit, get that over there. This makes it look a little neater. If they do take it apart, it'll be more neat looking. Let's not do it all the way down. I want it to cover up the wires. Son of a person. No. Son of a biscuit eater. Son of a... Anyway, okay, so... Flickumbicus. You can use a heat gun for that too. Big old heat gun is the only size I have. I don't have like a little one. I know they make like little pin-sized ones, I think, for doing basically just that, but that's like a unitasker. I'll be right back. I'm going to answer my phone. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm on my way home.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Long day?
Yeah, even though we watched Godzilla and it was fine, I don't know, he's just lost it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, are you still live streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Sorry about that. You never know. You get a phone call from your wife. Might be important. Or she might just be telling you she's on her way home. That's important too. I mean, I like to know where she is. So, cool. Okay, so that goes that way. So I had to flip it. Okay, I had to rethink all of this now because it fell off. And I forgot where everything went. So I'm doing 2 of these, but I'm not going to record 2, so don't stick around expecting another hour and a half or so of me doing what? He shrank again. I think this will help it fit better too and have something to glue to. So that's the other reason I'm using heat shrink. Keep that down so the heat shrink doesn't travel up. This is why I usually use the 2, but it's over there now, and I don't want to get it. I'm so lazy. Let's just do wire connection. Yeah. No, I'm gonna get the other one. It's so much easier when they're, you have to like, they don't want to touch each other. But if you have 2, you can just pick it up and make them touch each other. Touch, do it. Okay, so it goes in that other way. So yeah, so this is flipped. Wait, no, that's flipped. So it plugs in like that. Wire cut. Why did I just nip off these other ones? They're so small I can't even get in there with nippers. Snappers. Now it plugs in, so it needs to flip. Okay. If you're watching this and you're good at like electronics and wiring stuff, I apologize for my very limited skill and knowledge and ability. Again, I'm getting better, but it takes time and practice. Practice. But not like practice, like I'm not literally going to sit down and practice. I'm not just going to be like, hey, I'm going to wire all these wires together that don't do anything. No, I like to practice on stuff I'm working on. I guarantee this looks a lot better than what I used to do. I used to make action figures. If you go to my Facebook, you can see all the stuff I used to do. But I used to like to add lights and stuff. So I'd get like a big old sentinel figure, plug some lights into its eyes. But I was not the greatest at wiring back then, so a little messy. A lot less a lot more space used up than I needed to, probably. I think I got that fixed. So since this doesn't, he says as it falls apart again, but I've gotten a lot better at like using less wire, using more efficient circuit designs and stuff like that. Oh man, when I found out about resistors, oh my, what the hell? When I found out about resistors and LEDs and stuff, like, that kind of blew my mind. Because literally one time I spent all this time, I built this lightsaber out of PVC and plumbing parts. And I was like, oh man, I can't fit a bunch of AA batteries or AAA batteries in here. Take up too much space. I know what I'll do. I'll plug in this 9-volt battery. Yeah, I'll plug in these 3 tiny LEDs into this 9-volt frickin' battery. Oh, it worked. The one time it was very, very bright, and then pop, pop, pop. Those LEDs all exploded. Okay, I had to rewire this, so let's test it again. Make sure I didn't accidentally flip it. Make sure I didn't cross my wires. Turn the light off so I can actually see it. Fingers crossed. Please work. What did I mess up? Yeah, exactly. I think I got solder on the pins. I'm gonna buy some other pins. I'm gonna buy some other female connectors. I don't like these. They're good. I mean, they're nice little connectors. They're pretty much the exact size I wanted, but for this part is just, it's too little, too tiny. I think this is causing a short. And once again, I don't want to short out a battery. That would suck. Why does that look like it has 5 connectors? I thought they only had 4. I guess I was probably mistaken. That goes there. Work now, please. They both broke off again. I'm gonna throw this one away. I'm gonna start over with another one. Let's try this again. So they came in a pack of 20. I think I already took one out for when I do the second one. Take 2. Yeah, that does have 5. This, can't see it anymore because I heat shrink over it. This has 4. That's interesting. Yeah, but there are 5 lines there. Okay. I wonder why there's 5. Well, it did work before, so we do know that there is a right way of doing it, and it's to connect black to black and red to red. I'm going to nip off these 3 little ones. I know you can't see, but believe me, they are very small. They're like, ouch, that hit me in the neck. That one did too, but it didn't hurt as much. They're so tiny. I can't, like, they're like the head of a needle, and these ones are so much bigger. Like you can see those. These are microscopic. They're not actually microscopic, but they're so tiny. I can't even do it like that. Get that out of the battery. This might delay my process a little, because I might need to order new ones that are more manageable. Let's look that up after this is over. See if I can't get some really quickly, because I gotta get these done. I still have like 3 or 4 days before I have to ship these, based on my estimate. Oh, Jesus. It doesn't want to stick on there. Based on what I gave as my estimate on Etsy, but I don't want to be, these are like my first Etsy sales. Don't want to be starting out failing like this. There's stuff called like flux I know you can put on pens that help, but I don't have any, nor do I want to go to the store and buy any because of plague. Hope this works. Let me turn this light back on. It is too dark for me to see. After I'm done with this, I am going to take a break because I need one. I'm not gonna, like, this will be the, after I do this, it will be like the end of the stream. I'm gonna put it in there, power it up, and that'll be the end. I'm not completely putting it together, obviously, but this needs to be in there. Dang it, it just keeps popping off. Yeah, these suck. It's stuck so well to the other one. I think it might be just like the soldering tip I'm using too. Like I said, it's not a thin one, but this should work. I mean, son of a bitch. Sorry about the language. If you are small and listening, adults curse. This happens. Apologies. Crud. So if worse comes to worse, what I can do is send the guy my finished one. But obviously I have issues with that switch. I'm going to have to sand it down or something. But yeah, this isn't working at all. It's not sticking. Yeah, I'm going to have to order some different things. that sucks. I guess I can wire this one up on here. With some more black and red. Might as well. Already got the soldering iron out before I put it away. Just solder this one up real quick. I'm going to solder up all the lights, obviously. That took a while. Don't make you sit through that again. But this will be quick. Screw it. I'm going to do it later. These suck. I'm very disappointed in that. I gotta look up what brand this is and see if they have a female connector for it, because they're a lot better. They were weird and they shipped it like it was in a bag. It was weird. It wasn't that weird, but it was strange to me that they wasted that much material, because they're doing it every single one. They're wasting it. But I got to get a replacement for that. That's not gonna work. Put that over there. Put that over there. Unplug the soldering iron. Turn off the lights. Put that there. Okay, so Tron Identity Disc number 2. I need to shorten this wire. It's pretty long, but let's put that there. Shucks. I'm not showing you the whole build up, because, like, do you want to watch it even? I mean, I had one viewer earlier, and I'm not sure if they're still here. I'm going to record this, obviously, because, why wouldn't I? This is just going to be a temporary friction fit right now. Let's just get it all together. Sorry, you can't see. The stickiness coming off this kind of sucks, but it's not a big deal. It's going to be held in place with the inner ring. So that's together. Let's get a top on it. Let's turn the light on, since I don't have... Whoa. Oh, shucks. This soldering just came undone. Wow. That was great. Huh. Glad I saw the smoke. It just, when you short a battery, it didn't short completely, it just, a little bit of a short. But when you do, you sometimes get smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's fire, there's variable penguin designs. Wait. Oh, that's weird. I guess I didn't get this in well enough. And it disconnected, and then the red and black touched while they were live. And that causes a short. Shorts are useful if you want heat. That's basically what toaster ovens and all those things that would create heat, they're kind of basically shorts. They're controlled shorts, obviously. Let's try it again. Okay. Didn't burn out the LEDs. That would have really sucked. Okay, so disconnect that. Unplug the soldering iron again, because it's freaking hot. And I don't want to burn myself on it accidentally. Been there, done that. I don't have the scars. Pretty sure it healed pretty well, actually. That's going to go there, that's going to go there. I got 2 different kinds of rechargeable batteries, because the one I used for my first version, it came in a 2-pack. And then I found a 5-pack, 4-pack. 4-pack was cheaper than cheaper per battery than the 2-pack. So bought myself a 4-pack. So I'm ready to make a few more. It's kind of a mess. It's not in there right, but I want to light it up. Can't end the video without lighting up the blade. Okay, I think that's together. Let's turn it on. Put that on there. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Okay, there we go. That is the Tron Identity Disc lit up. You can see it's got light on both sides. There's wires sticking out right now because I haven't glued it in yet, and I'm going to shorten that black wire. But, oh, I got a little super glue on it right there. Shoot. I think I had super glue on my thumb. But that's that. Thanks for watching. Give me a like or whatever. I don't know how Twitch works. I'm going to be posting this on my Facebook and on YouTube. YouTube upload takes a lot longer than Facebook because it's really high resolution video and it keeps it. I think Facebook like reduces it a lot. But yeah, I'm on at Variable Penguin on Instagram, at Variable Penguin Designs on Facebook, Twitch. I'm Variable Penguin. My name is Brian. Thanks for watching. I am going to go off stream and just start figuring out what's wrong with this. I gotta get different connectors. Obviously, those did not work too well, but it does work. It lights up. It's got power. It looks cool. I mean, I kind of wish the LEDs were a little more densely packed, but it gets diffused by the white, so it looks pretty darn good. There. Yeah. So I am going to go, and thanks for watching. See you all next time. Well, you'll see me next time. Bye.